First thing I'm seeing here is this clear rejection of this area. This is going to be the high, the most recent high. I want to mark off the most recent low. Should be this area. Okay, now I got an area where I have interest in. So now I want to jump down to the 4 hour. Okay, not showing me anything yet, but I am starting to see a trend building. We did a class on trend channels earlier, so I'm trying to get that uploaded. But this is kind of the basis of a channel starting to be made, giving us indications for downside action. Now, if you don't want to look at it as a channel, you can also start looking at it as potential pennant. So we're going to wait for a break between these areas to facilitate trade. I was saying that we're already in this trade. So the reason I kind of bounced is got keyed off of this area, off of EMAs, things of that sort. Then I did a quick walkthrough of the importance of Fibos and how you guys could use it. Now, if you guys want or need places to kind of base your trades, I'm using kind of price action to mark out these structures. So we're on a 4 hour. And first on the 4 hour, I'm starting to see this trend. I'm zooming in and I'm getting closer to real-time action of what's going on now. So I'm trying to work my way into finding an entry. I'm starting to see more and more of the trends going down. I do have this area here where I have kind of rejections there, but we are pushing. And I gave an example of some people may start, we were looking at trend line. Support and resistance. I watched a video earlier that shows the subjectiveness, or some people may be lost on where to put the trend line. But say, Nick, okay, I got the trend line here, but it didn't react. Should I put my trend line here? Does my trend line, or does my support and resistance horizontal line go here? Does it go here? Does it go here? So to answer that question, what I like to see is multiple touches, clear rejections, including that wick. And I also like to see where the ceiling was also a floor in previous price data. So look to the right, go to the left. I see that this was also a floor. Continue to push down. So to me, that's going to be a good, strong area. It's kind of more like it's fortified. So now we got the building blocks and of where we want to trade. So we started off with the 4 hour, and we were building kind of ideal of where we want to facilitate trade. But this is further out in time. We're getting ready to trade this right edge. Things is not happening. So we're waiting for either a breakout, retest, breakdown, retest. But if you guys want to get in quicker, you want action right then, you zoom in smaller time frames, hour, kind of zoom in on your areas. Now I have a closer range of what's happening right now. So I seen that rejection, gave me a nice pin bar. It's one of the entry techniques I like to use, a pin bar based on something that's backing it. I would have got a nice drop. Well, we're starting to get into a nice drop. So I continue to work my way, zoom my way in from the bird's eye view. And it's giving me even more places to facilitate trade. I could look at it. Do I want to allow it to come here and try to play it up? Do I want to allow it to come here and wait for the break to drop it down? So we're almost finished here. It's coming full circle. Show you guys what I was saying about Fibos. So we have our Fibonacci, and was giving Daniel kudos because this may be a good method for us all to dive into, to give you guys kind of a outline of where you may want to take profits, manage your trades, enter your trades, things of that sort. If you don't want to go into the technicals of drawing these lines, you can simply use a Fibo. We go from the swing high to the swing low.
And not to cut you off, but the next trade I'm gonna you might want to stay on for that one. I'm gonna use the Fibos. I'm gonna actually go more in depth on like when you was training me, how I was taking all sorts of difficult trades and using the Fibos and it made it much easier. I'm going to use the Fibos on the next one.
Most definitely. Yeah, I'm almost finished here now. Throw the floor back to you. So you got this route of looking at the Fibonacci. You come. So we got clear levels here that act as support and resistance as well. What this is just measuring off the amount, the percentage that the price retraced. So if you notice these levels here, 50% will be 50% of this move, 61.8 will be 61.8% of that move. And the 50 is typically the level that after it keys off, we want to see, primarily we're going to be start looking to the opposite direction. But in this case with Audi, some of the things that's going on, we're not going to do that. So you have this view of the Fibonacci. Then we can also look at it this way, where we want to see what this last previous move has done. So we'll take from this high to this low. We'll zoom in here. And we see how market has played, and that's the reason why we're on a daily. Gonna jump down. That was a 4-hour move, so we'll see how these levels for this move are playing as support and resistance. 38.2, it's bouncing off of that. 50, it's bouncing off of that. 61.8. So this gives you guys some key levels to start watching and monitoring. If you want to continue to take that trade in that direction, you can expect where the market will stall or stop at. So this is going to give you some things for your eyes as you're learning to kind of mark up some of these areas. So we got, from top to bottom, we got from this previous where it's starting to kind of turn over. We're marking off those areas which are going to be more recent price action. And then we can also do this. So we'll erase this one. We'll get rid of that. And we're going to actually look at the percentages of the retrace now that it's actually coming down. So now that price is starting to kind of turn over, we can map this out from low to high as well. And now we're going to have key areas to where we can set as take profits and resistance zones. So we do get our push down. First area here would be like this 38.2, retracing this move. Once we get to the 50, we're going to be off to the races. If you guys see how there's generally more ratios here, like a 23.7. But primarily, I'm mainly going to worry about the 38.2. When it comes down to there, you can see that how price made a good roadblock. Price came here, bounced down. Price came up, bounced down. Then it finally gave us a break, and we took off. So I'm looking for when price comes back down here, we may get a stall here, be a good level for your first take profit. Second take profit to be a little bit down here. See how it pushed down, and so therefore and so on. So that's about 3 ways you can utilize the Fibo. One coming from swing low to swing high, trace off the move of the retrace to see what percentage you're at. Kind of make a decision if you want to continue to go up, go down. We did short this market based on some other information. But then you can use Fibo in current time. So it's a smaller time frame of data, 4 hour, even though I drew it on a daily, it's going to be a smaller time frame. And you can zoom in and see the intricacy or the exacts of the levels that's happening right now. And then lastly, we seen that there was a push down. We've seen a retrace. We've seen the market kind of shaping up the drop. So now we're using the Fibo from that low to that high to trace off the percentages of the down move from the up move. So I went through all that. Unfortunately, I was on mute. The last thing I was saying is for actual entry, we talked about pin bars. Some of the previous video contents, we had the double trend line or the trend channel. Market's been dropping nice. Oh, I went into overlays. So if you guys, still kind of brushing up on your candlestick patterns or price action, you can always throw your overlays on that on a smaller time frame, even a higher time frame, but a smaller, and you see how this matched up with the trend channel. Got to the trend channel. We had the pin bar that I was keying off of, but we also have the Bollinger Band, the outer Bollinger Band. Nice big candle came down, starting to get our higher highs, higher lows. Nice market structure formation. We pull up the stochastics. You can use RSI, MACD, any oscillator. You start to see it turn over, dropping. Now you have multiple confirmations. So that's price action, Bollinger Band, RSI, trend channel. There's about 4 or 5 confirmations, making this a more high probability trade. So there's no hesitation. Hit the trigger, take the trade to the downside, proper stop losses. If you're going to be looking at the smaller time frame to enter, you can use a tighter stop loss. But if you're looking for a bigger run, you would use these higher time frames and maybe place it up above this EMA. You see there'd be something to back the market with. So that was my run through real quick on AU. Before I pass the mic over, any questions on anything I ran through real quick? I know I was kind of speeding through it.